I think maybe because people want to make sense of their pain. They want it to mean something and not just hurt. Maybe that's just me, but I feel like a lot of the great pieces of work that have lasted throughout the years, the stuff that we study today and learn from, I feel like a lot of it's born out of struggle or a longing for change. I know a lot of my favorite artists write from that place. So, yeah.
You mentioned some of your favorite artists. What's like a picture, like a perfect picture of someone who wrote something out of the struggle that is an ideal example of this for you? Or do you have one?
I mean, there's probably a ton, but I personally really am attracted to artists like Elliott Smith or even some of Connor Oberst's. I even feel like Dylan kind of wrote from a similar place. I mean, even music like Beethoven, and I mean, there's other composers that are so emotional.
I don't think I've ever been to a show where it hasn't been like highly demanded of you. But The Field is probably, I would have to say, my favorite of yours.
It's based off of a lot, actually. It's kind of a collage of different ideas, that song. There are some like sacred references in the song. A lot of the song is either hope for my future or memories of my past with my family. But yeah, it's just mainly a song of hope. Yeah, that's the opening track on The Clay, the Seed, the Stone. And actually the record is kind of following that theme of the relationship of struggle and song. Actually, the cover of the record is kind of a toilsome looking, the image is just kind of toilsome, and I feel like the record kind of came from that place. And some of the songs like Harvesting Stones kind of deals with toil and sweat. And the last song on the record, Peace Is A-Comin', is my effort for a resolve.
So if there were like a story of like if this album were a story and there's like the plot, the climax, and then the resolution, like what the story is clearly about struggle, how does that unfold in this album? Like what is the transition, I guess? You kind of mentioned a little about Peace A-Comin' being that resolution.
Yeah, it was a process of me coming to terms a little bit with some of the losses and the struggles of my particular journey. But as far as the record kind of unfolding,
does it mirror that journey of you?
Yeah, it's just kind of an expression from that journey, and it really doesn't make sense until I look back on it. I think making the record was just me kind of writing whatever came out, and then it's like we make sense of it looking backwards, and it's kind of a retrospective sort of enlightenment on what we've come through. Yeah, I think the record kind of unfolds with just, I guess I kind of just fumble through.
Yeah.
It wasn't really designed in a particular way, but I feel like with the last song being Pieces Are Coming, it was a good resolve, even if it was unintentional. But so if the record does kind of resolve or have some sort of story to go along with it, it was pretty unintentional.
You said you were going up there to the mountains to sort of escape, and when you wrote this song, did you feel, was it for you just a way of getting it out and expressing, or was that a coping thing for you?
Yeah, I guess songs come from me or to me mostly, like I said, out of an effort to sort of make sense of some of the struggles that I have, and I'm hoping to move away from that a bit and maybe explore some of the joys that come from song.
Yeah.
And
it's hard.
Yeah, well, it's just, I guess it's just my tendency is to,
I do the same thing.
Up until this point, it's just kind of been exploring the darker side of the song, writing about personal experiences and things like that. But I really aspire and I hope to merge into an exploration of the joys of writing and, exploring those sorts of ideas too. So yeah, some of the new songs that I'm writing kind of have a little bit more of that theme going.
Maybe like, oh, I'm gonna write a song today. Is that like how it is for you? Like, are there two different kinds or two different situations in which you would write a song?
Oh yeah.
Or more than two, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot, but there's definitely a clear line between those two. For me personally, and I hope to move more into some intentional sort of writing. A lot of my writing has been as life kind of pushes on me. I retort with a song. But yeah, there's a lot kind of brewing in me to be more proactive, I think, with initiating songs. So I heard an interesting statement. I'm going to paraphrase it because I'm not good at mimicking things or reciting things perfectly, and I'm in no way advocating or giving props to any particular names because I'm kind of undecided on my opinion about certain people's views and stuff. But I was listening to an interview between Rob Bell and Peter Rollins. It was interesting. I'm going to paraphrase what Peter Rollins said, but basically he said that what we enjoy about the artists is that in their suffering, when they open their mouth as a result of their pain to either cry out or to respond, what we all love about the artists is that something beautiful comes out. And when we ask the artist to write or to create or to sing, many times what we could be asking is that new calamities would befall them so that they could continue to sing. And that's a very interesting thought.
Yeah.
And it's again a very sad thought, but I don't know, I think so many songs come from that, and is that as much as we don't want to experience certain things, we inevitably have to, or end up going through whatever it is that we don't really enjoy, but coming out on the other side is always full of epiphanies or some sort of conclusions, or hopefully there is.
For a wise person. So this song, Our Life is Like a Party, was this...
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, you're fine.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm out of tune really bad.
So this song is Our Life is Like a Party, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And how is this one written? It's pretty optimistic sounding.
Yeah, I guess it is sounding pretty optimistic. It's just... This song kind of came to me at a friend's loft. Everybody was just kind of hanging out, and I picked up a guitar and just started strumming and picked out a few chords and just started writing whatever came into my brain. And this song really isn't intellectually driven. It's kind of driven by images and emotions from those images. And so, yeah, this song kind of came from a place of making sense of lost love. Yeah, so Our Life's Like a Party is what it's called, and
you're gonna play it for us live.
Yes.
Yay.
So, yeah, here we go. I paint you in portraits, and I pin you in time, on black and white footage when you were so shy. When you were so shy, and the camera was shaking, the photo was blurred, the memory altered. Was it really her? Was it really her? And I moved from the city, and I darkened my door, and I ripped out the carpet. I slept on the floor. I slept on the floor. And I fenced in the backyard where the dog had his fun. And I pulled off the hinges and I made a new one. I made a new one. And I sold that dress you wore back to the consignment store, and I forgot what you bought it for, but you never loved nothing more, no. And your dad is steady preaching, yeah, he fights his good fight, but he is selling a Jesus that no one will buy, that no one will buy. When he tells me that I'm making a fool out of me with all of my singing, well, that just might be, yeah, that just might be. But people are shuffling in and out of our lives. Yes, our life's like a party, and some people bring booze and some people bring knives. And I found all your pictures with dates on the back. They had your inscription with holes from the tacks, all tattered and torn. And I sold that dress you wore back to the consignment store, and I forgot what you bought it for. But you never loved nothing more, knowing the fabric grew paper thin at the knees and the elbows when, oh, you just would not take it off to the chimes from my cuckoo clock. And some wounds just won't heal, no, no, no. Some foes just can't feel. Some wounds just won't heal. No, no. Some foes just can't feel. I sold the dress you wore back to the consignment store, and I forgot what you bought it for. But you never loved nothing more, knowing the fabric grew paper thin at the knees and the elbows when, oh, you just would not take it off to the chimes from my cuckoo clock.
I've never heard that without the full band before.
Yeah.
It's a lot sadder this way.
Yeah, it's fun to watch your songs transform from setting to setting, but yeah, some songs, when they're stripped down and you take away some of the excitement of the full band, sometimes they can kind of transform into something a little different.
I like that song.
Thank you.